So every time cloud mining comes up in conversation, people either have no idea what it is or they've watched some video that was basically just an ad and now have completely the wrong picture of how it works. And that gap between what's out there and what's actually useful, that's the reason this video exists. A few years of testing these platforms seriously, building a real sense of what's legitimate and what isn't, and today just showing it directly. So first place I always go is the configuration step. And the reason I give this part real attention is because it tells you something important about the product before you even get to the actual session. How the steps are structured, how clear everything is, whether anything feels like it was rushed, all of that shows up here first. So token selection is first. It runs on multi-chain protocol, which in plain language means no fixed network, no dependency on what the market happens to be doing right now. Just pick what makes the most sense and move forward. I select XRP. Okay, receiving address is next, standard input, nothing to slow down on. Okay, hash rate power. It determines how much raw computing capacity gets pointed at mining session. It's essentially the ceiling. Whatever gets set here defines the upper limit for what the session can produce. So then we configure mining speed mode. It controls how intensely remote hardware runs throughout it, and pushing it higher drives more efficient output, but the effect on the final numbers is direct and real. So this isn't a setting to just max out by default. Think about what this session is actually meant to produce and make a deliberate choice. So, target amount. Lower tiers are the right starting point when the platform is unfamiliar or when a new configuration is being tested for the first time. It just keeps things measured while confidence is still being built. Once it's enough sessions to know exactly how it behaves under different conditions, the higher tiers start making genuine sense. Okay, so final check across everything. Address, hash rate, speed, target, all sitting correctly. So we press start and it's live now. So we just let it run for a few minutes and watch what happens. Okay, mining is done. Report is loaded. Total time, processed shares, active algorithm, and breakdown of the remote infrastructure charges. So, withdrawal step. There are two proper options. Wallet Connect handles the transfer automatically, clean, fast, essentially one step. And then there's the manual route, where each part of the transaction gets handled directly. Both options work exactly as they should, and it just comes down to what works better for the person using it. I use manual because walking through each step of the transaction is just the most transparent way to show what's happening. Transaction is out, so a few minutes and XRP should be on the address. So while that's processing, most users when they first hear about cloud mining immediately ask, is this legit? And that's the wrong first question, honestly. The better question is, what does the platform do with your configuration when the session runs? Because that's where you see whether something is real or not.
A legitimate platform has actual remote infrastructure behind it. Real hash rate, real algorithm activity, real shares being processed. And everything in that final report we just looked at, the shares count, the algorithm, the charge breakdown, that's not decoration. That's the evidence of computational work happening in the background. That's what separates this from something that just shows you a number going up on a screen. And here's one more thing. This platform has been around for a few years now. In crypto space, time is the filter. Projects that aren't built properly don't survive long. They either disappear, stop processing withdrawals, or just quietly stop working. The fact that this one is still here, still running sessions, still paying out, that's not a small thing. That's the track record doing the talking. And when I compare that to newer platforms that show up with better marketing and flashier interfaces, they almost never hold up under the same kind of extended use. Longevity in this space is earned, not assumed. So that's a wrap on this one. Thanks for watching.